This week on Dumb Pitches, my guest is Mr. D, Joe Dombrowski. He's here and he's got some incredible business ideas for you. MuuMuu for men. Wasp Honey. You're going to have to listen to figure it out. Plus, a story about incredible athleticism that is a bad choice, but turns out to be a saving grace. Here we go. Dumb Pitches.
What a bunch of dumb pitches. Oh my goodness.
Welcome to another episode of Dumb Pitches with Monica Nevi. I'm Monica Nevi, your host. This is the show where we talk to successful people about their worst ideas. I am very excited for just this riveting episode. And my guest today, in person, I know you prefer in person, so here we go. Joe Dombrowski, Mr. D. He's here.
Am I a dumb pitch now? Is that what that means?
Yeah, pitches. That's what I call my listeners.
Literally, my pitches.
Yeah.
Do we curse? Am I allowed to be a little foul with my tongue?
Only if you say it like that every time.
Perfect.
But yes, we do whatever we want here. You know how this works in this room.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for doing it. I'm so excited that we're actually doing it, and maybe I'll be on your podcast sometime. You know?
I mean, who knows? Maybe we're gonna do it in literally 30 minutes.
Maybe. All right. So we like to start by giving everyone your good ideas so they know you aren't just full of shitty ideas.
Okay. This one actually is really good. I think about this. There's two.
These are you're ready already. I want to give them your credits first.
Oh,
so
give them
that
my credits.
But just so you know, if you've never seen Joe do stand up, Mr. G, or his videos, hilarious. He's just a funny person. But you may have seen him on Ellen twice, right?
Twice. 2 times, yeah.
You have podcasts called Social Studies.
Yeah, the podcast where I study being social by being social. So cute. I want to vomit.
That's great. And then I'm sure you've seen plenty of anywhere online at Mr. D ×3. So
that's me.
Look at that.
That's me, babe.
All right. Well, now that you're feeling good about yourself, we want to hear the bad ideas. So when I sent you the criteria, what'd you come up with?
Okay, can I? This one is terrible,
Okay.
but I am convinced it's good. But everybody I've told this for.
This is my favorite type. This is my favorite type of dumb pitch.
I've told this to people for years, and they're like, "It's never gonna work," and I'm still. It will.
You're like, we're gonna figure it out.
Okay. Do you like spicy food?
Yeah.
I love spicy food too. Right.
Okay.
One of my favorite combinations of cuisine is sweet and spicy together. So I want to invent what's probably already been invented, spicy honey, but I want to call it wasp honey.
What? Oh, okay. So instead of being from
bees, it's like from a wasp. Right. But people have been telling me that like wasps are obviously more disgusting, and they're gonna be like, wasp, I'm not drinking anything from a wasp. And I'm like, but it's not from a wasp, we're just calling it that because it's hot, and like wasps are like hot and they'll get ya. I
love the emotional connection that you clearly have to this, because it's been years that you've been trying to make wasp honey.
It's been a stew in. Here's my other one.
Okay, all right.
You understand I can go on for like literal days. It's my other two. Okay. Is this okay?
Oh, yeah.
Also, in case you didn't pick up on it yet, riddled with ADHD.
Perfect. Well, we'll go back. I'll pull your attention back to where I need it, so don't worry.
Just shake your keys. Second one. I really love a sarong.
Okay.
Like, I love a sarong on the beach. I think that they're like sarong, but sarai. Like, they're good, right? But they're only for women. They're only for women, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to invent sarongs for men. Predominantly gay men is our target audience, but they're called kind of like a MuuMuu, but they're called Mammoths, like man MuuMuu, a Mammoo. And they're just like, bigger for our like taller bodies.
Mm-hmm.
And they come in like beautiful prints. And some like one might have like a banana or like hot dogs or dinosaurs on it or
Okay,
whatever,
right.
and you just like rock that shit on the beach. Now, what gets me is, Monica Nevi, listen, a beach full of gays, right? A Mamuu, just hut, yurt, if you will, a
Okay.
tent. Tell me those gays aren't going to spend all their coin on some Mamoos and prance about the beach.
If it's right there, of course. I mean, that's, you might as well be like the guy walking up and down with the bracelets or whatever. You're just like,
Oh.
do you need a man MuuMuu?
Right. Do you need a Mammoo? And that, like, the group of drunk gays are going to be like, we do. We actually all do. And you're going to make like $300 us on the spot.
Now, see, I don't know enough about having balls and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but it would seem that the beach might lead to some irritation in that area with the, because you guys got like the built-in underwear and
We
stuff
do,
in
we
your
do.
swim trunks.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So I don't. If you get sand in there and stuff, that seems like a bad.
Well, balls aren't like a labia, so we don't really have to worry about
It's not like
making
in
a
there.
pearl
Yeah,
if
okay.
if sand gets in there. Just kind of like take a dip and brush it off.
Okay, so I mean, the Mammoo seems like it would be, if you were to take your trunks off, it would be nice to kind of air that area out. But maybe I'm overthinking that part of it.
Air your shit. Now, I will say I've never thought of not wearing my bathing suit under the Mammoo. However,
I don't
let's
know
go
why
for
that
it.
was my first thought. Was like you can just free ball it under there.
That is a
Be
marketing
nude,
tactic.
you know?
Yeah, we can market it as easy access because beach cruising. Am I blowing your mind? We're
Sorry, I'm thinking.
cruising.
Yes.
You know about cruising.
Is that for you're gonna do sex?
She said you're gonna do sex. Okay, let's bring it back. I'm gonna give you a history lesson.
Okay.
In like the 80s and 90s and 70s, I don't know why I decided to start in the middle.
You know.
It was like taboo for the gays to do anything, right?
Right.
So they would do what is called cruising,
Okay.
and just like meet in public and like fook.
Okay.
But like in public places
'cause
or
you
like a
couldn't-
shed or something.
Got it.
Yeah, or you can go to a park and like cruise, and it's all about like a look and maybe like a little gesture, a quick little like grab of the nuts to be like, I'm into it.
Yeah.
And then you just find a tree, get behind it, and
Get behind it.
put a sausage in a poop chute. You know what I'm saying? So,
Okay, so you could cruise on the beach.
yeah, if we marketed Mammoos for easy access, it's
Yes.
good for a cruise.
You just hike that bad boy up, and there you go.
Let that shit flop
If
around.
your hot dog print Mammoo didn't give it away, that you might be interested.
I mean,
That I could see it. Sometimes trends come from a different cultural group, right?
mhm.
And then infiltrate other groups. I could see straight men, maybe based on a comfort, they love to be comfortable, getting into it too. And I think some of those prints would be the way to, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
sure, okay, there's a group of gay men over there and they have their Mammoos, and at first maybe everyone's like, oh yeah, that's for gay guys. But then he sees, a Pokemon print or something, and he's like, I think I should be rocking one of those too.
Yeah, like Mammoos are the gay chubbies, if you will. Like, chubbies?
Yes.
Like, big fan of chubbies too. But I'm I'm going to go ahead and say the only gay on Earth to wear them. That's a lie. But
It's a lower percentage than
it's a straight
Yeah.
man's attire.
Right.
Which I dress alarmingly heterosexual. And I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
Except I invented Mammoos. Come on.
Well, you gotta keep your card, You can't dress straight all the time and then be like, but I invented the gayest of the beachwear, the Mammoo.
1,000,000,000,000%.
I like it. These are, maybe it is because I feel like you are invested in it and you would wear one, right?
Mhm.
Like,
Yes.
it's, you would use the Wasp Honey.
I would eat Wasp Honey in my Mammoo.
Right.
I would. I would.
It's just, that's a beautiful picture, maybe you get a Wasp print Mammoo marketing,
Stop it.
We're here for ideas,
It's working.
I think you're going to have some new merch coming this year. Just the Mammoos after shows.
Honestly, I do want to get new merch, though, that says sleeping with a teacher is a learning experience.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I like that.
Here's the thing. One time I did...
You could put that on a Mammoo.
Girl, that could go on a Mammoo. Did you just start working for me in the merch department? I think
This is actually what the show is about. I'm like, if something actually works, I'm going to need a percentage. Okay?
You're going to need royalties.
Yes.
I did a merch one time in Boston and like sold out like a whole line of shows. So I wanted like specific merch for it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Boston Loves the D because Joe Dombrowski, Mr. D, the D. And I bought maybe 500 of them. I sold, I think, 20. Which is why I'm apprehensive for the sleeping with the teacher's learning experience. But it's so good.
I think that's great. And if it's not, it's hard to do specific merch when you're not sure how it's going to go.
Yeah, it went not well.
I'm still always pretty apprehensive. And so I order a small amount first. And then when it does go well, I'm like, well, fuck, I should have ordered more of these. But I sold underwear for a long time.
I don't know if you have declared this to your fandom yet. Did you know how you have that joke about that like one type of parent and you want to have their energy?
Oh, yeah.
Do you talk about that to them?
Yeah. I mean, it's a version of it is on my first album. So,
okay.
Yes.
Have you ever made the shirt?
Energy? No, I haven't. But the shirt I haven't really talked about until that's recent. I think because that'll be on the special.
Uh-huh.
I'm kind of thinking after that it would be a good.
When you said it and I saw your show, I was like, tell me she's got a fucking table full of these things and she's just kidding that she doesn't have them. I was ready to buy a crew neck sweatshirt that said Stepdad Energy.
I want to do crew neck sweatshirts, so that actually might be, that's great. I think, I'm definitely going to do them, but honestly that part of that bit is newer, I think, because there was a middle part that wasn't working the way I wanted it to.
In the joke?
Yeah, and so it like wrapped it up better to make that joke, and I just like kind of talked about it on stage once. So it's still newer, but yeah, I think that might be the next.
A Stepdad Energy fanny pack might sell too.
Yeah.
And who's ever selling your shit is wearing a Stepdad Energy crew neck with a fanny pack with high-rise jeans and New Balance sneakers.
Oh, yes.
That are stained green from cutting the lawn.
Mm-hmm. That's my yard shoes.
Your yard shoes, bitch. Yes. Yes. 100.
I am my father.
That's
Okay. Can we go back to the Wasp Honey for just a brief moment? Are there levels of spice, and what type of, I guess, what does the label look like? I feel like, because if you're gonna, what you're worried about and what maybe other people have brought to your attention is for some reason I don't know enough about, I know bees make honey. I don't know how they do it. I don't know any of that. So if somebody was like, oh, this is wasp honey, I'd be like, cool. It sounds like goat cheese or something. You know what I mean? Like, it's just
God, yes.
This is a different thing making the honey. But apparently that would be upsetting to some.
Well, I feel like it would be the equivalent to goat cheese, right? But like goat cheese is so mainstream forever that it isn't the 90s when feta just pops and everyone's like, yeah, goat cheese. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like the process of getting people on board with Wasp Honey is breaking down boundaries to tell them that like it's not, first of all, really from a wasp, because I do feel like when they think that this is from a wasp, they're gonna be like, ew, disgusting, you know?
Yeah.
Like when you're in Mexico and you see like they're selling like crickets by the bundle to just eat, and you're like, not me, I'm American.
Right.
I feel like people
are thinking it's too exotic or something.
Too exotic.
Eating some type of game meat that you normally don't,
That's
have
it.
An elk burger or something.
Which brings me to your first question, the label.
Yes.
It's a typical hot sauce type label where it's just like over the top cartoony of just a very angry wasp, so that when you're looking at it, you're like, this ain't from a wasp.
I love it. Yeah. Because yes, this is reminiscent of buffalo sauce having anything to do with a buffalo. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because people are like not connecting that it's from Buffalo the place, and they're like put a picture of a bowl or something with smoke coming out of its nose, and somehow that means chicken wing sauce. It's confused, you know what I mean? So I like that people might be able to, because it's cartoonish, be like, oh, it's just a hot wasp.
Right. It's just honey from bees.
Yeah.
This isn't
normal honey.
Right.
Yeah.
Buffalo wings are chicken meat.
Yeah. Exactly.
Wasp honey is from a bee.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what I just want them to get.
Okay.
Spiciness levels.
That's what I was going to go next. So.
It's going to have hive levels, right?
Okay.
So,
like how many hives?
Yes. So it's a honeycomb is a picture of a honeycomb. And however, there's like, let's do math really quick. I think there is, we'll say 7
Okay.
octagons, pentagons
Sure.
that put this picture of a honeycomb together on the label.
Mm-hmm.
And however many are colored in,
Oh, is how
spicy it is.
nice.
Right.
I like that. Okay.
1 is actually just regular honey with
Got
like just
it.
like a touch of cayenne or maybe like a few red pepper flakes in there.
Yeah.
But like as you keep going, ooh, that shit starts changing.
It's
Your
getting
butthole's
real.
burning. Yeah.
Yeah. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because there is, I love chicken wings in general,
Same.
and a pretty trendy thing of sriracha honey or something that, like they're mixing sauces with honey.
Sriracha ketchup.
Anyways, that's true. Just making normal sauces spicy. I feel like actually making the thing itself spicy honey. Genius.
Right.
But I don't know why. Who knows enough about wasps? I'm still just caught up on why people would be upset that it's a wasp.
Here's the important
Are
question.
wasps gross? I thought they were just like scary. I don't know if that's true though.
I feel like a wasp is like way grosser looking. They're
Okay.
more scaly, less fuzzy. I'm also a big
That's true.
bee guy.
I did see that. Yeah.
Yeah, I love bees. I think they're like,
Do you like raise bees and stuff?
would I? Yes. Do I? No. But let me tell you what.
I mean, if you're gonna have this honey company, you're probably gonna need to get some bees.
I like I was going to say this to you on my podcast too. I feel like you might be like me at least a little bit, where like a part of you doesn't fully fit in with Seattle.
Oh yeah.
Dude.
I always felt like I don't fit in most places. No, but yes, I'm not. Yeah.
Same.
Mm-hmm.
Like love living here. It's beautiful. But like when it comes to like the people, I'm always kind of like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm here for
I will
you.
say, as someone who has lived here for, on and off for 31 years, 2 years, whatever, it's especially Seattle proper has changed quite a bit, skewing farther that way.
Is
Of
that right?
like, oh, it's gotten more Seattle. It used to be, more grunge and dirty, and I think the same amount of whatever's going on now, but it was cool then and not this like odd hippie elitist thing that it is now. So I one, agree with you, but also think it's gotten worse in that regard.
Right. And although I feel, you know how they say like whitewashing?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Seattle has been like kombucha washed, right?
Yeah.
And part of it, like parts of it did sink in for me. Like I'm a big sustainability person now. Like I do try to like make things like I slashed plastic.
Mm-hmm.
But the big one, I always liked bees, but then I got to Seattle and I was like, save the
love
bees. Right. Like only buy local honey. Like for sure doing a hive. I plant wildflowers on my roof. They're beautiful for me, but they're great for the bees.
Right.
Like I'm over here, Monica, not me. When I tell you I bought a 10-pound bag of wildflower seed, drove down the highway and was just sprinkling that shit in the median, that's a fact. So parts of it did infiltrate my soul.
I could see, and really most of it seems to be structured around bees and their health.
100%. But as I'm like throwing seed out the window, I'm like literally contemplating calling an appointment at a sound bath and like buying crystals for my
Right.
body. However,
I have crystals, but I started that in LA.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That does make sense. Did you get super into it? Like, did they heal like your body and stuff?
I tried like most of the stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and what I think when it comes to your own well-being and spirituality or whatever you want to call it, You got to try a bunch of stuff to see what works for you. Stop being like, oh, crystals, they fix everything. Do this. So I like them, but never really felt like, oh, they're healing this part. But I've done like Reiki and stuff like that, and that actually I like really like.
Yeah.
So just try some shit. But yeah, I definitely started most of that in Los Angeles.
Have you heard of light language?
No.
Oh my God, Monica, I'm about to literally like blow your mind. I learned about it when I was here too.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned about it because my friend did take me to a sound bath, and I was like totally skeptical.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you know what a sound bath is?
Yes.
So they play like the cups or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't, like one note. Like,
yeah, I've
going.
had those done, and then like all of them.
Well, the sound instructor?
Bather.
Right,
I don't
the
know.
sound bather. I think I would have been the sound bather.
Therapist?
Yeah,
I don't know.
the
yeah,
sound
that's true,
therapist.
Sure.
She then goes, I'm going to sing. And I was like, oh, shit. Like, lay it on me. Like, bring in America's Got Talent.
That's
Let's
a
go.
sound. Let's do it.
But she sang sounds. It was very like,
got it.
oh, with the balls or the bowls, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? These frequencies, I'm like oddly relaxed. I'm feeling this. And that's called light language when they actually like sing the notes.
Okay.
That's light language.
Got
right?
it.
There's like knockoff light language on TikTok. Monica Nevi, on TikTok.
It's just people going, whoa.
No. They butcher the shit out of it, and they sound like real life Sims.
That's what I was afraid was going to happen during your sound bath, was that she'd be like, I'm going to sing now. And you're like, great. And it was just horrible. Like,
No,
that's not,
no.
she was good.
Soothing.
Okay. But that could so I have a meditation album.
Yeah.
And that all started because I was trying to listen to guided meditations, and they were so corny and like just, I don't know, it made me laugh. So then I kind of like just thought about doing like dirty ones, basically.
And that's when you made your own?
That's how I started
Love
it.
that.
Yeah. But that's kind of, you know what I mean? Like you're like, well, I'll try it and see how it goes. And they were just so silly to me.
Yeah.
But all that stuff is like worth trying, I guess. I don't know.
I gotta send you videos of the knockoffs on TikTok though.
Yeah.
Because the people literally, it's like shakalak, and then they'll get close to the camera and they'll be like, and they're doing this with their hands and stuff.
No.
I'm like, what in the Blair Witch Project is on my phone? Like, it's crazy.
Well, then, yeah, I don't know what that would help with, but okay. All right, so Wasp Honey, the Mammoos. These, I mean, they're just good. You got any more?
I do have one more.
Okay, one more. We got time for one more. Let's do
This
it.
isn't an invention like the other two. This is more of a poor decision that they made.
I love it.
Do we do that? Do we take this in that angle sometimes?
Oh, yeah. In fact, when this comes out, we will have just announced the winners of the Dummies, which is the now annual awards show. And that was a category, was Best Dumb Life Choice.
Oh.
So you could be up. You could be up for next year.
Girl, trust me. So I'm in college. I went to school in the middle of a cornfield in the middle of Michigan.
Okay.
And I was drunk on a roof, and like I was by I'm a very much a Irish goodbye, very much a ghoster, even more when I was 20. And in Michigan we have what's called an MIP, a minor in possession. It's like one under a DUI, if you will, without like the serious legal repercussions. This means you're drinking underage
and walking around.
Yeah, they're not good, especially if you're trying to be a teacher like I was, because you have to like claim this and blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm up there drinking by myself, like watching the party, and all of a sudden I get this spotlight shone upon my body, and this officer of the law is like, come on down from there, little fella. And I'm like, shit. Monica, I Superman jump it and like land on all fours like Catwoman. I stand up and I realize that this cop comes up to like my titties, like literally my areola. I'm 6'3", right? And he's like not cutting it. So he goes, got some ID on you? And I'm wasted and I'm savvy. And I pull out my wallet and I'm fumbling with it to think. And he's like, can you get it? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm pulling it. And I'm like, this dude's nugget legs are not going to keep up with these gazelle launchers that I'm rocking over here. and there's a cornfield about 25 feet to my left. And if there's anything I've learned from watching National Geographic is that when a gazelle zigzag runs away from a cheetah in tall grass, they're good. I go, yeah, I got it. Boom. Book it into the cornfield. This dude starts chasing me. It's literally like a movie where I can see like flashing light behind me, and it starts getting like more dull, more dull, more dull. And I get to a creek and the light starts getting closer. I launch these legs over the creek, jump over the creek, climb another roof, and sleep next to the chimney till the sun comes up till I'm safe. And I didn't get an MIP. Great and horrible decision all in one.
Yeah, I mean, it's effective. It worked, you know?
Right.
And we'll never know what could have happened had you just given him your ID.
Yeah.
You know, maybe he'd be like, okay, just go home. But
Right. And I went to the corn too, so he couldn't tase me.
Yeah.
Because I was like, he'll probably get an ear before he gets my body.
Yeah. Protected in the corn.
Right. I really, this was a terrible decision. I don't suggest it to anybody.
Yes. Just to clarify, running from the police is
never
not necessarily a good idea.
But do I regret it? Absolutely not.
No, I mean, it worked.
Yeah.
And odd question, but how was your night's sleep up there on the other roof?
First of all,
Did people find you?
wasted.
Yeah.
Wasted.
So,
I remember I curled around it so I would stay stable, you know, and not fall asleep. I could have fell asleep and rolled off the roof. Like that's a real dumbass right there, right?
Sure.
But I didn't.
After all that, you get out of
yeah,
possibly getting arrested and then die or break your arms
right,
because you fell asleep on a roof after.
Arrested with 2 broken arms and 2 broken legs. But yeah, I got out. I woke up when the sun was coming up. It was probably, I don't know, like 5 a.m. or something like that. And I just like shimmied my way down. Not hungover, by the way, because do you remember being 20 and like hangovers weren't real?
Yeah.
Where did that go?
We found our wedding dresses yesterday and had, you know, a glass of champagne to celebrate, even though we haven't been drinking this month. And I had the worst headache this morning.
Is it? I can't.
Should have curled up with a chimney.
I can't.
No, mine are terrible now.
I remember that day after drinking that much, I woke up and like started binge drinking again at probably like 2 in the afternoon. I was totally fine. Like would never now.
Like jumping roofs forever.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, yeah, it's it's definitely a bad idea, but it could work. Just like the Mammoo.
There you go.
It's I mean, every story you've told me since, I've only pictured you in a Mammoo while doing this. So
like me like mixing the Wasp Honey and my Mammoo with the Wasp Honey logo all over it. You're gonna see these on Shark Tank one day.
I know you have quite a social media following, but I think most likes ever is you in the Wasp Honey Mammoo.
I'm just saying.
Oh my God. Amazing. I had a great time. And honestly, I mean, you guys, obviously, if you're watching this on video, you could see that story. I was like enthralled. I was like, what happens next?
Enthralled.
Yeah.
Like that was the perfect word for your look.
Just a great story. And I was like, the court, it's getting closer. Is he going to get, no, what happens? Another roof? Wow. Would not have seen that coming.
There you go. You're welcome.
That's great. Thank you so much for being on the show. Where can people find you if they want to see you live or follow you on social media and those things?
All over the place. You guys can catch me. Go to my website, Mr. D times 3. I'm announcing my tour in a couple of weeks here. I'm going to be on tour all spring, all fall, all summer. Well, I haven't announced my cities yet, but if there happens to be a Seattle show, your girl might be on that show. So keep your eyes peeled and your ears open. MrD3.com. Same Mr. D times 3 on all social media. Find me.
There you go. And check out Social Studies. Look, you're already listening/watching a podcast. You can just check out the other one.
Yeah, just go take a listen.
Like, subscribe, review, all those things. Just what a fun time. What a fun time. But right now, you can just keep watching Dumb Pitches.
You're weird.
Yes.